program wants to change that. The Engineer High initiative will train 8 young female engineering graduates for 1 year. They will get hands-on experience, mentoring and leadership skills to help them succeed in engineering jobs, either at WACT or at other big companies. The company's leaders say the goal is to give women more chances in male-dominated fields and help them build successful careers. One of the participants, Margaret Gigi Senior, said she feared not finding a job in her field, but this program has given her a real shot at living her engineering dreams. This move by Watt is part of a bigger push to support diversity and equal opportunities in workplaces across Nigeria. In other news, the global entertainment and media industry began a new growth cycle yesterday, with projections now estimating its value will hit $3.5 trillion in 2029. This development is fueled by increased use of artificial intelligence in digital advertising and steady spending on live events like concerts and festivals, despite families cutting back on streaming services and cinema visits due to rising costs. Digital advertising is keeping the sector afloat. By 2029, nearly 80% of global ad revenue is expected to come from AI-powered platforms, including smart TVs and online content. Video games are also expanding rapidly, with global revenues projected to reach $300 billion. Industry experts say AI is helping to create more personalized and engaging content, keeping audience hooked even through tough economic times. Microsoft, a serious cybersecurity threat is unfolding as hackers begin exploiting a non-vulnerability in Microsoft's SharePoint software to launch ransomware attacks. The wave of attacks, which escalated yesterday, has already impacted more than 400 organizations globally, including key U.S. government institutions like the National Institute of Health. The attackers initially focused on surveillance are now actively locking users and systems out of their networks and demanding ransom payments. Security analysts believe the flaw in Microsoft's system, which had previously been left only partially patched, is now being weaponized, with some reports pointing to the state linked across actors from China. This development underscores growing concerns over digital infrastructure resilience, as the attackers are no longer just about data theft but full system shutdowns. And away from Africa, former U.S. President Donald Trump yesterday rolled out a sweeping new strategy aimed at strengthening America's leadership in artificial intelligence. The plan seeks to ease restrictions on exporting advanced AI technologies to allied countries while accelerating the construction of data centers across the U.S. to fast-track this move. Several environmental regulations have been scrapped, allowing tech giants like NVIDIA, Google, and Microsoft to scale infrastructure faster. The initiative also establishes a unified national AI policy, replacing fragmented state-level regulations. While critics raise concerns about environmental risks and potential misuse of AI, the push is being positioned as a competitive measure to counter China's rapid advancement in the field. This marks a significant shift from the previous administration's cautious stance, signaling a more aggressive approach to AI development and deployment globally. We go on a quick break now. Stay tuned as we bring you more news. Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is Idea TV Midday News. Now for the rest of the news. In health, the National Agency of Food and Drug Administration Control (NAFDAC) has found a warehouse in Kano filled with dangerous chemicals, over 88,000 liters of sulfuric and nitric acid, which are used to make explosives. The agency's boss, Prof. Mojisola Adeyeye, said the warehouse had no legal permit or government approval to store such chemicals. Only the warehouse manager was found there and has been arrested, while the actual owner is on the run. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control (NAFDAC) has found a warehouse in Kano filled, I beg your pardon, scroll up. The agency's boss, Professor Mojiso, welcome back and sorry for the glitch in transmission. And now for the rest of the news. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has found a warehouse in Kano filled with dangerous chemicals, over 88,000 liters of sulfuric and nitric acids, which are used to make explosives. The agency's boss, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, said the warehouse had no legal permit or government approval to store such chemicals. Only the warehouse manager was found there and has been arrested, while the actual owner is on the run. They are now working to destroy the chemicals safely and are treating the case as a serious national security issue. And now moving on to business news. Efforts to make electricity more affordable gained momentum yesterday as state energy officials across Nigeria began negotiating with power distributors to lower tariffs. The move follows Enugu State's recent reduction of Band A rates from 209 naira to 160 naira per kilowatt hour under the Electricity Act 2023, which now allows states to set their tariffs. While states argue that localized pricing will better reflect actual power delivery costs and attract investments, distribution companies warn that the shift could disrupt power supply and weaken sector revenues. Amid the back and forth, regulators are pushing for a transparent, cost-reflective structure that phases out vague federal subsidies and puts consumer affordability at the core of Nigeria's evolving energy framework. And now to sports, the management of Shooting Stars Sports Club has dismissed head coach Benga Ogumbote along with the entire coaching and management staff, following a disappointing end to the 2024/2025 Nigerian Premier Football League season. The decision, which took effect yesterday, comes after the Ibadan-based club placed 8th on the league table, securing just 15 wins out of 38 matches. General Manager Dimeji Lawa was also relieved of his duties in the sweeping changes aimed at restructuring the team's technical direction. Ogumbote, who spent nearly 3 years at the club, is now being linked to a possible move to Kano Pillars. Meanwhile, former coach Eddie Tagoye is being considered for a potential return. This marks a pivotal moment for the club as it looks to rebuild and reposition itself ahead of the next season. And that's all we have for you on Idea TV Midday News. But before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. Federal government to create over 2 million jobs with new housing projects. We also brought to you news that WAT launches engineer how to empower women in engineering. We brought to you news that AI and advertising set to supercharge global entertainment industry growth. Hackers exploit Microsoft to launch ransom attacks. And away from Africa, Trump to boost US AI exports and losing environmental rules. And in health, NAFDAC undercovers warehouse with explosive chemicals. And last, in business, states ready to negotiate lower electricity tariffs, but discos stand firm. And lastly, in sports, Shooting Stars sack coach Benga Ogumbote. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms at Idea Television. I am Cynthia Bassi. Thank you for watching.